Some mistakes cost you an apology. Others cost billions. But what if I told you a single typo once sank a company? A forgotten wrench doomed a spacecraft. And one man's bad day triggered a global meltdown? These aren't just slip-ups. These are the most expensive mistakes in human history. And some of them, we're still paying for today. How do you lose a $125 million spaceship? Math, just math. In 1999, NASA's Mars Climate Orbiter was on a mission to study the red planet. But two engineering teams used different measurement systems. One used metric, the other used imperial. Nobody caught it. So when it arrived at Mars, the probe flew too low and burned up in the atmosphere. A $125 million loss because someone forgot to convert inches into centimeters. One misplaced digit, $500 million, gone in seconds. In 2005, a Japanese trader at Mizuho Securities made a tiny typo. Instead of selling one share for 10,000 yen, he sold 10,000 shares for 1 yen. The system allowed the trade to go through, and canceling it wasn't allowed. The result? A $600 million disaster, all because someone didn't double-check the order. A tired man and a bad turn. An entire coastline poisoned. In 1989, the Exxon Valdez oil tanker struck a reef in Alaska. After the captain allegedly left the bridge, more than 11 million gallons of crude oil spilled into the ocean, killing thousands of animals and devastating ecosystems. Cleanup efforts and lawsuits cost Exxon over $2 billion, but the environmental damage? Priceless and permanent. A night out, a beer, and the future of Apple leaked to the world. In 2010, an Apple engineer testing a top-secret prototype of the iPhone 4 left the phone at a bar. It ended up in the hands of a tech blogger, and the photos went viral. Apple's marketing strategy was shattered. Stock dipped. Competitors scrambled to copy features early. The cost? Billions in lost advantage, and one very awkward HR meeting. One test. One misstep, and the most radioactive bill in history. In 1986, a late-night safety test at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant went horribly wrong. Operators disabled key safety systems, leading to a reactor explosion that spewed radioactive material across Europe. The Soviet Union's cover-up made things worse. Cleanup, relocation, long-term health costs, and global fallout, over $235 billion in damages. And the zone? Still unlivable today. NASA knew the part could fail. They launched anyway. In 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded 73 seconds after liftoff. The cause? Faulty O-ring seals in cold weather, something engineers warned about. But the launch was rushed for public relations. It cost $1.2 billion, destroyed public trust, and claimed the lives of 7 astronauts, live on television. The biggest corporate merger became the biggest corporate facepalm. In 2000, AOL merged with Time Warner in a $350 billion deal, betting on a dot-com future. That future collapsed just months later. Culture clashes, outdated tech, and a bursting internet bubble turned the dream into disaster. By 2002, AOL had lost over $200 billion in value. The worst merger in corporate history. They called it unsinkable. Iceberg said otherwise. In 1912, the RMS Titanic set sail with elite passengers and no lifeboats for half of them. A delay in iceberg warnings, a failure to reduce speed, poor construction choices. It sank in under 3 hours, killing more than 2,500 people. The immediate cost was around $7.5 million, but the real losses, from lawsuits to lost futures, go into the billions. The world didn't end, but the bill was $500 billion. In the late 1990s, companies and governments feared that computers would crash at midnight on Jan 1, 2000. Why? Most software used only 2 digits for the year. Drawer might be read as 1900. Panic spread. Upgrades rolled out. In total, over $500 billion was spent fixing code and preparing for chaos. That never came. One bank's collapse. A global economic meltdown. In 2008, Lehman Brothers filed for bankruptcy after risky mortgage investments imploded. That single failure triggered a domino effect, wiping out pensions, jobs and savings worldwide. The damage? Over $10 trillion lost in global markets. It wasn't just a mistake. It was the costliest economic disaster in modern history. From space to Wall Street, from the ocean to your inbox, mistakes happen. But some leave scars on history, and a price tag the world can't forget. Which mistake shocked you the most? Hit like, subscribe, and comment below, because sometimes the price of human error is unforgettable.